Tourism and hospitality is an emerging sector that is expected to be one of the main drivers of Africa's economy, and that would pull many out of poverty if tapped into. However, according to a research jointly conducted by Mastercard Foundation and Restels Development, young people who constitute a bigger percentage of the continent's population are not sufficiently engaging in the sector, primarily due to wrong perceptions towards it.
They came up, like, if I can divide it into three main areas, their findings are very much deep-rooted, which, because they have consulted young people, they have talked to young people all along in different countries, and one of the main challenges they face is about the perception of tourism and hospitality on people's mind, and even on young people's mind, and even on parents' mind. It's not considered as a paying job. It's not considered as like a high-flying job at the moment. So that perception should be addressed. One, by coming up front with those who have succeeded on hospitality and tourism to come up and be champions, be also showcase for other peer young people to let them know that this is a paying job. It has so many promises in it, and it is now at the forefront of many government's priorities at this time, hospitality tourism. And the second one is about the mindset and also the skills. In the skills, there could be technical skills, but it requires a very life skills, soft skills, communication skills. So all sorts of different skills need to be modified, to be thought about.
Predominantly from all of the young people that we talked to in these 7 African countries that we conducted the research, we found out that most young people have negative perceptions towards the hospitality and tourism sector. Now, these negative perceptions were due to multiple reasons, because some of them saw this sector as not serious, but also not as high paying. But there were also other young people that we spoke to that viewed the sector positively. But after we talked to these young people, what they told us is they viewed the sector positively because they saw other young people in the sector, maybe some that are close to them, succeed in the sector. And there are a lot of sectors that we could have been focusing on. There are a lot of sectors we could have researched on. But then why we chose hospitality and tourism is the fact that it is an emergent sector, and it is a fast-growing sector, not only here in Rwanda, but in multiple African countries. So as a fast-growing sector, we're trying to see the opportunities that exist for young people and how young people can benefit from this sector, which is what influenced us to really dig deeper into understanding this sector.
We think that this is an opportunity sector for young people, but what does it look like for them to engage in the sector? What does it look like not just at hiring, but at job retention, making sure that they're still employed, but also at career growth and promotion, and what's their long-term aspirations. So a lot of our findings are around this. And I think one of the things we found interesting was that across all those different parts of their journey, from hiring, from retention, from promotion and career growth, there were 3 core skill areas where they could demonstrate the soft skills to be able to meet employers' expectations. And for us, those were in terms of work ethic, in terms of interpersonal skills, and in terms of having a positive attitude. So these are the 3 soft skill areas that were the most important. It was interesting to us to hear that communication is important, but not necessarily the most important skill. It's really those other 3 areas that are the most important.
On top of providing quality skills to young people, it is believed that it will be critical to publicize success stories in the sector for it to be more attractive.
This sector is very profitable, but the challenge here is information gap. Young people outside the sector who perceive the sector as not profitable do not have a success story to look up to. So when we provide success stories, or when we highlight and showcase success stories of individuals who have benefited by engaging in the hospitality and tourism sector, that perception of the hospitality and tourism sector as not being earning will stop.
As a recommendation to stakeholders and partners, what we're saying is for young people that are already in the hospitality and tourism sector, they should be profiled. They should be profiled, they should be given platforms to be more visible to other young people. In this way, they'll become role models to young people, and it will change the perception that young people have of the sector from being negative to being positive. Across Africa, we think the government can do more. We think the government can provide more spaces for young people to gain practical experience, but also because the government has influence on training institutions, what we want them to do is change the curriculum in these training institutions for them to include the soft skills that we mentioned, for them to include work ethic into the curriculum, for them to teach interpersonal skills, to teach young people to have a positive attitude. Because as much as these training institutions teach young people different things about hospitality and tourism, if young people lack these three qualities, then they might not be able to find jobs in the sector.
When we want to address the challenge of youth unemployment, youth employment challenge, then we have to seek the solutions from the youth perspectives. In our strategies advised by them, in addition to other stakeholders like government institutions, private sector actors, and as well as also educational institution as well. Other areas are also about support, the support they should get, financial support. You can't just simply get them out to tourism and hospitality, and you need to also support them in different financial areas. This is one of the big areas. In the discussion we had in groups, they were telling that we have to get private sector actors engaged, we have to get government engaged, we have to think about the policy environment. The policy environment conducive for young people to engage in hospitality and tourism? This is something which we have to think about.